I've got some great news that I've been holding on to for quite some time because it really wasn't the right moment to share it. But now that we're starting to see fruit come out of it, I think it's about time. So things got really bad over a year ago when I had to start reporting that G2 was leaving Apex Legends. And it wasn't even just there. It was then Space Station Gaming who also left Apex Legends. And then it also went to Cloud9. More organizations were continuously leaving Apex Legends. And sadly, it didn't stop there because Team Liquid would also leave Apex Legends. Then more recently, we heard 100 Thieves was going to leave Apex Legends, and they did, and NRG left as well. The list goes on about how many teams did not believe in Apex Legends anymore, and we really worried that this game was about to die. Many big streamers were leaving, many big organizations were leaving, the game's player base was going down a lot, Apex was under fire for all of these bad updates they were pushing out, ranked was in an absolute mess, and honestly, I worried about my job here for quite some time because I really thought if all I'm going to do is have to upload negative news all the time, this game's just gonna go downhill and we're screwed. But over the last couple of months, I've been hearing some great news and it looks like we're starting to see the fruit of that. So not only do I want to share what the good news has become, I also want to share what the good news is going to continue to be. Now, even though I normally hit on this on my ALGS channel, and I'll actually go in more depth on it tomorrow on that ALGS channel, I do think that this is a general news concept as well of how good things are getting at Apex. So just allow me to explain. So I said more teams are looking to return into Apex this year, including some of the biggest teams that we all miss. Cloud9, SSG, and Navi are not the end of the good news for ALGS, so stay tuned. If you guys have not seen already, Cloud9, SSG, and Navi are teams that all left Apex and are now back. This is great news considering when Cloud9 left, they pretty much called out EA for being a terrible team to be with and horribly supporting the scene, and that's why they didn't want to be around. And to be honest with you, I respect it. I don't blame them a bit for that because I know EA is not the best of companies, and to come out and be honest like that, it was something that many other organizations began to do. And even though it sucked to see them at the time go through all of this, I think they were the pioneers to develop the good news that we have today. So not only did Cloud9 return, not only did SSG return, not only has Navi returned, I'm here to tell you today that G2 and Team Liquid are also returning into Apex Legends, and they're actually already talking with a lot of these rosters. Now, I know this is something more ALGS related, but this is a great sign because not only has the player base gone up for Apex Legends that we discussed in a couple of videos ago, but all these organizations that left and trashed Apex, trashed EA for how bad this scene was, they're all coming back, and it feels like we're actually able to go somewhere now. I can't tell you how defeated I was when I saw all of these big organizations pull out of the game and trash this game. I really thought it was over. Sure, people will still play pubs, but honestly, if you don't have these big streamers and these big organizations trying to develop the game even further, it's only going to last but so long. Now, more information on these rosters that these organizations are targeting and when they actually might be coming back, I'll leak that more so on my ALGS channel, but I thought I would give you guys a little teaser here because it does tie into the overall news of Apex. But shout out to those organizations taking the step a year ago so that we can have the pushback for EA to finally make better decisions to get us to where we are now. And if you remember, I said these organizations would come out and trash EA. Well, what is it that got so much better? Well, EA did decide to up their partnership program and actually start supporting these teams a lot more. Now, there were some type of partnership programs out there already. However, it was obvious enough that they weren't that good because that's why all these teams left. And now that we have a new partnership program that seems to be a little bit more supportive and publicly supportive, they're all coming back. So if you get tired of all the crying and complaining at some point, just know that sometimes it's really worth it because we do sometimes get good news come out of it, which is why I'm about to cry and complain right now because I feel like we have been asking for a specific change in this game for quite some time, and I don't understand why Apex has still not implemented something like this. Over on the Apex University Reddit page, a guy by the name of Hell's Benz posted that as a beginner, I am lost and I don't know how to properly improve at this game. I hopped in a week ago or so and I'm having fun with my friends. They play on console and I play on PC. It's been a couple of years since I last played an FPS game. I know that my skills are rusty, but holy crap, I've tried everything to improve, but I just get deleted every time. I don't understand why I can't improve at this game. Nothing I do seems to work. I spend a few minutes warming up in training range, trying out other legends, guns, and etc., and I barely achieve any change at all. I tried following YouTube guides, but I get destroyed nonetheless. I like the game, I like the art style, the characters, the skills. But long story short, he feels like there's a lack of actual training modes in this game in order to get better, and this is why I don't understand why we still yet to have all these other nice features that something like R5 Reloaded actually offers. They have aim snapping and tracking and reacting and just R9 sprays, Volt sprays, wingman snaps, whatever the case may be. They have all kind of stuff, obstacle courses, movement courses, everything to help you get better at this game. Even 1v1 modes where it's like 8 people in a lobby 1v1ing each other. It keeps your leaderboard of how many kills, how many deaths, and who's the number one 1v1er in the game. Like, there's so many good tools to actually get better at the game, but it's not in Apex itself. It's in a modded version of Apex that a bunch of people that don't even work at a gaming studio made themselves in their house for free. I don't understand why we don't have these amazing good features in the actual game. I see such a need for it because so many people like this guy want to get better at the game. They actually do want to put the time in, but it's not only that. How much more content would come out of this game if there were these community modes, community servers and such, where there were other people out there that didn't want to necessarily play Battle Royale? Think about the audience that even Counter-Strike has. It's not all about ranked mode or playing the game or shooting people. They have a lot of people that do the surfing modes and obstacle courses, the speed runs and such. So much more content is able to be tapped into, and I don't understand why Apex hasn't done this yet, but yet other people have done it for free on a modded version of the game. Like, could we at least just hire the guys that have already done it and just pay for them to just put it in your game? And if there's an obvious thing that every single person in the entire game has probably complained about at some point, or at least they're still crying about to today, it's the audio. Now, Respawn has recently been making some changes to the audio, especially since there was a big problem with Horizon a couple of seasons ago where there was no audio on her whatsoever. You could just literally have a Horizon land out from the sky on top of you and shoot you and one clip you in the back, and you did not hear a single thing. Well, even though they've made all these audio changes, we are still getting rebuttal like this, and probably will continue to get rebuttal like this until something more drastic majorly changes. And this was coming from the Apex Legends Reddit page, not University, saying that 20 seasons in Apex and the audio is still garbage. It's sad to see, or I guess here, you'll be lucky to hear an enemy run up on you, and if you do, you better hope you hear them coming from the right direction. Why bother even using a headset if the game isn't going to bother producing usable sound cues? And what's sad is how many people I think actually agree with the first top comment, saying I'm beginning to think that they can't fix the audio due to how old the game's engine is. It's either wait for Apex Legends 2, which probably won't happen until the engine starts dying completely, or they actually address the audio issue properly. Now, the bad news in that is I've actually already spoke to Respawn, and they've even publicly stated that they are not planning to do an Apex Legends 2, and especially not anytime soon. But honestly, they made it pretty clear that they don't really ever plan to do it. Their goal is to continue to properly update this game in a way that it will last for hopefully over 10 to 20 years. Interested to see down in the comments if you guys actually think Apex is going to last that long. I sure hope it does, because it's kind of my job, but let me know what you guys think down below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with all things in the Apex Legends news world. And until the next time, we'll see you all later, Gators.